it's Becky. Welcome to my channel. I'm really excited for today's video because it's kind of a follow-up to a video that I just posted about a fall reset, how to reset your life for fall. And in that video, I mentioned making a bucket list. And it seems like fall and summer in particular, we tend to make a bucket list of things we want to do during that season that are extra fun at that time of year. And my kids really aren't interested in going to the pumpkin patch anymore, but we still like to do intentional fall family fun. And so, not to be rude, but every time I have Googled or watched YouTube videos of people's fall bucket list suggestions, it's pretty predictable. They're all the same, and they're obvious things you would expect to do in the fall. So I thought it would be really fun to share with you 10 unique ideas of things that we hope to do this fall that you might find fun and interesting and different too. And even if you don't have older kids like I do, mine are 12 and 18, even if you have younger kids, I think a lot of these things would be a fun thing to do in the fall. Okay, so my first unique fall idea, and this is not just fall, pretty much any of these things can be done not just in the fall season, so keep that in mind, but there is a way to make it more fall or spooky Halloween themed if you want. And it's basically a family game night, but with one of those like, I don't know what they're called. They're like mystery boxes where you buy this box and it's got everything you need in the box to figure out a murder or some type of disappearance or get out of a certain situation. There's a bunch of different clues, there's evidence, there's like all these different things you have to look at in the box. Figure it all out to answer, you know, the riddle or solve who did it or whatever like that. And I think this is especially fun to do in the fall because there's tons of ones that are spooky themed or kind of mystical themed. Like the one that I got, I didn't want anything scary, but they did have some that were scary too, or seemed kind of scary. The one I picked was like I think I got the Enchanted Forest one because that seemed kind of like mystical and I don't know, it just seemed fallish to me, and I picked that one. So it's kind of like an escape room had a baby with the Clue board game. So there's a mystery to be solved and you have to work together as a group to solve it. We actually did a one with my family a few months ago that was really fun. And I actually shared that in an Amazon haul video. It was really fun. This is a different company, but there's all different ones you can get. And I do highly recommend escape rooms too. I think those are really fun, but obviously those are usually a lot more expensive and you have to like leave the house. I just think it seems really fun to have a mystery box night at home. Invite your family, your friends, your neighbors, make some chili, and just make a night of it. So I did purchase another one of those to do in the fall, and I think that'll be really fun. The second thing that we really hope to do this fall, and this may be specific to us, but the things that we hope to do there I think are good ideas for anybody, no matter where you live. We usually go to Gatlinburg every year. We didn't go last year, but I'm thinking we'll go this year, and one of the main reasons we want to go there is to possibly do these 3 things, which are my next 3 suggestions. Indoor rock climbing, some type of ropes challenge course where, you know, you're up in the tree line usually suspended and you're like climbing over bridges and doing different types of above ground obstacles, and a zip line. So like I said, you don't have to go to Gatlinburg to do those things, but just search in your area to see where there might be those things nearby. In our case, I know there's a zip line, there's tons of zip lines, and I know there's a couple of ropes courses in Gatlinburg. So we may be able to check off at least 1, if not 2 of those things. I'm not sure about the indoor rock climbing. That was just something that my oldest daughter suggested that she has always wanted to do. And so we'll look there and see if they have one, but at the end of the day, we only have so much time when we're there because we typically only stay 1 night. So we'll try to get those things done down there. If not, then I will keep them on the list and we'll try to do them somewhere more local. But those are definitely some unique ideas that I think especially older kids would like, but even younger kids, you know, any zip line place you go to or any ropes course place you go to, usually they have an area or a specific course set up for younger kids. So it's definitely something you could do with older and younger kids. The other thing I recommend that is unique for fall is to take a fall themed class of some sort. My youngest and I are actually going to be doing a cupcake decorating class in September, but we're decorating the cupcakes like sunflowers, so it's kind of fall themed. And you know, if you've watched my channel for a while, you know that we try really hard to be intentional with spending one-on-one time with each girl and then trading off, and the other parent will do something with the other kid. It's a little harder now that my oldest is working to do things with her, and I do have something planned with her actually. It's not on this list, but I do have something planned with her coming up in a few weeks. But definitely we try to be intentional with that. One thing we need to work on is being more intentional about date nights with each other, but we're pretty good about doing it with the kids. And so We just did a sewing class a few weeks ago. We're doing the cupcake class in a few weeks. So search your local area for any fun. It doesn't have to be fall themed, but I just think that makes it extra special when you can find some fall classes like the cupcake decorating for sunflowers. Or there's like those painting party places that you can go and paint some type of fall scene. You could do different pottery type places that are fall themed, a cooking class. And so highly recommend that you look in your area for things you can do, classes that you can take, and don't forget to check out your local craft stores and libraries. A lot of times they will have classes that are free or very low cost that are themed to the seasons. Another thing that we plan to do, I don't know if we'll do it in the fall, it just depends on the harvest actually, but it is a You Pick flower farm. There is one, it's about an hour away from us, but every season they have a different flower in bloom that you can go, and once you pay your admission you can pick whatever you want and make an arrangement with them. I know right now it's sunflowers. I think next month it's gladiolas, which I didn't realize that gladiolas were in bloom in the fall. So I don't know yet if we're gonna go now. We may actually wait until spring just because my oldest daughter loves tulips. They're her favorite flower, and they do have a tulip season in the spring. We may go to that one. But just check your area and see if you have one. If you had the sunflower picking place, you know, that might be fun to do this time of year. So just check for any of those like You Pick type of places. Another thing I think would be really fun to do in the fall is to host a spooky story contest. It's obviously free unless you want to have some type of prize reward for whoever wins, but basically you have anybody of writing age to write their own spooky story or mysterious story, and then you have some impartial parties, so like a neighbor or a coworker or a relative that doesn't want to participate. We all have that one person that's like, I don't want to. Then you have them judge the different stories. So you get together after everybody has written their stories, and you have each person take turns reading their story, and then everybody else has to vote on whose was the best. I just think that'd be really fun. That may actually be something that we might want to incorporate with our family mystery box night. Like before we have that night and have everybody over, have everybody write a story, and then they bring their stories to that, and after we've worked the mystery box and after we've had our dinner and everything, we sit around, read the stories, and vote. I just think that'd be really fun, and it's free. So I think that's something that we definitely hope to do this fall. Another thing I think is fun and definitely a good alternative to haunted things, you know, we don't, like I said, we're not into Halloween, so we don't do like the haunted houses, we don't do the haunted hay rides or the forest walks where like stuff jumps out at you. I have done those and I will not do them again. So an alternative to that I think a lot of people have in their area is some type of pumpkin trail or pumpkin event, where there's a bunch of pumpkins already like carved by different people, and you can go and like check out all the pumpkins. So we have a couple in our area, and the one that we're hoping to do this fall, we've never done before. Basically it's a pumpkin trail. So you can go and pay admission and you can see all the pumpkins along this like nature trail at night, or if you want, which I think would be really fun, and what we probably will do is you can donate your own pumpkin. So you carve it ahead of time, you drop it off. The people that are organizing it place that pumpkin somewhere along the trail or, you know, in the display area. And then because we donated a pumpkin, we get free admission. So I think that just makes it that much more fun. It's fun anyway to walk through the path at night and see all the pumpkins glowing, but especially if you know that you have one that you carved in that path somewhere and like trying to find where it is, I think that'd be really fun. And I didn't even know this event existed, but evidently they did it last year too, and I didn't even know about it. So definitely Google is your best friend when it comes to finding any activity any time of the year, but especially in the fall. Kind of going along with the story contest that I had earlier is to have a pumpkin carving contest within your own family, or you can do it even if maybe you have a lot of neighbors that you're friends with or your coworkers, but just have everybody get a pumpkin. Again, same kind of scenario as the story. Everybody carves their own pumpkin, and then you have some impartial party judge whose pumpkin is the best. So that was really fun. We did that a couple years ago. Me and my family did a gingerbread house contest, and I posted them on Instagram and had you guys vote of whose gingerbread house you thought was the best, and that was really fun. So again, very low cost. Pumpkins are dirt cheap unless you go to the pumpkin patch, which I highly recommend not going there to buy a pumpkin, because when our oldest was little and we were, you know, not very well off with money, but we wanted to go and do this like super fun fall family activity, took her to the pumpkin patch, and they said like, oh, the pumpkins are only 25 cents a pound. And so we were like, perfect. So we pick out this pumpkin and we go to pay for it, and it was like $25. And that's a lot for a pumpkin anyway, but especially when you're on a very, very strict budget and have very little money, that was the most expensive, ridiculous produce we've ever purchased. So now we know we usually go to Walmart, they're like $5 or less. and that way we can get several of them and everybody can have their own. But yeah, that's just a fun idea. I think, again, very low cost that you can get everybody in the family involved in to make a fun fall family activity. And the last thing on my to-do list is a nature hike. This is at the request of my oldest daughter, and I told her, I was like, well, you kind of have to decide what kind of hike you want to go on, because if you go on too much of a hike, it involves like needing special shoes and like all this stuff. And she's like, okay, well, a medium hike. So we were hoping to go on a medium difficulty hike. And like I mentioned, the Pumpkin Trail, that place actually is a nature conservatory, and they have a lot of different trails. So I think that'll be a good place to go, because I think it's free admission normally, unless you're going as part of some like event like the Pumpkin Trail thing. But it's a nice, you know, the paths are fairly well worn. It's not like we're going, you know, off-roading and climbing rocks and stuff. So I think that'll be a nice mix, and it'll be a good time to see all the pretty leaves when they change colors. That's my favorite thing about early fall, as I'm sure it is most people's, because I just think nature is amazing. God is amazing. All of these things that he has created, and even something as, you know, just a tree, it's not just a tree. You know, we get to see it in all of these different stages, when it's blooming in the spring, and when the leaves are turning, you know, gold and orange and yellow in the fall and then falling off. I just think it's amazing. So a medium nature hike is on our list. And then my bonus things that I want to share with you guys that we are going to be doing personally, 2 things to watch. For me, fried green tomatoes is like, it's fall in a movie. And I even Googled fall movie suggestions. I did not see that on the list. And the movies that were on the list, I either haven't seen or I have no idea what they had to do with fall. I don't know. So I didn't really get any suggestions from those Google searches, but I don't know. Fried green tomatoes just has that really like late summer, early fall kind of vibe to me. It's a little bit depressing, but in a happy way, if that makes sense. Definitely not family friendly. There is some language in it. But we love that movie. My husband and I watch it every fall. And then one that is family friendly that I'm planning on watching with my youngest, my oldest does not want to watch it, is Anne of Green Gables, the original movie series, not the TV show. And we also will not watch the last of the Anne of Green Gables, because if you watch all the beginning ones, like, they're good and they just have that same kind of late summer, early fall vibe to me. Then there's that one that they made years later after the series was over, and like she was way older and Gilbert was like lost in the middle of war, and it was super depressing, and I don't like that one. So we'll watch the first however many there are like in that original time span, and then that'll be good. And then a couple things to eat. For me, it is top priority every season to eat at least one, and more likely it would be at least 2 or 3 of the, I'm gonna say Reese pumpkins. I call them Reese's. We call them Reese's. We always call them Reese's. I realize that I guess it's Reese's, but I can't stop now. I've said it so long. It's a Reese cup or a Reese pumpkin or a Reese tree. So every season they come out with a shaped Reese cup. And I don't really actually like Reese cups because I don't like the hard edges. I like the shape. So in fall, it's the pumpkin, and wintertime, it's the Christmas tree. In spring, they have an Easter egg. And I think around Valentine's Day, they also have a heart. So those are the ones I like because it's kind of like the ultimate middle piece of a brownie. There's no hard edges. They're amazing. They were buy 2, get 1 free at Kroger. And so I did get 3. So over the course of the next 2.5 months of my fall season, I will be eating 3 Reese pumpkins. Also, something we did last year that was super fun that I think we'll do again probably on the first day of fall is to make homemade applesauce. I can go to the grocery store and I can buy applesauce and I can just eat it right out of the jar, or I can buy those little tubes and I can just squeeze it, and because you know who doesn't like eating fruit out of a bag. But there is something to be said for the process of making it yourself. It's such a fall type thing to do, and obviously it just smells amazing because you've got these different ingredients. You've got the cinnamon and the brown sugar and the apples all stewing together in the crock pot. It's super amazing. So probably we'll make homemade applesauce on the first day of fall. And then apple donuts at the orchard. Now, if I say this, we're not going to the pumpkin patch or the orchard to participate in picking pumpkins, picking apples, petting goats, none of that stuff. We would just go to the cafe and get apple cider donuts because they're amazing and we love them. And just because my kids are older and don't want to go to the pumpkin patch anymore doesn't mean that I don't deserve my apple cider donuts. So I have that on the list. There's a bunch of different pumpkin patches, apple orchard type places in our area. I'm not particular. A donut's a donut. So hopefully we will be able to go to one of those places and get some apple cider donuts. So those are my unique and different fall bucket list ideas for you guys. I really hope it was helpful because, like I said, I just get so frustrated when I'm looking for fun family activities to do, whether it's for fall or any time. And I feel like so many people have the same suggestions over and over and over, and that really frustrates me because it's hard. It's hard to come up with ideas of things to do with your family. It's hard to find things that everybody wants to do, especially if you've got, you know, a bunch of different kids or a wide age range like we do. It's hard when people are busy and have work schedules and school schedules. So it definitely takes a lot of effort and time and work to find these ideas. And I just get annoyed when they're all the same. So I really hope this was helpful. If it was, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what is something that you like to do in the fall that maybe is a little non-conventional, not the typical stuff that's going to be on the list. And if this video was helpful, make sure you share it because, like I said, unique fall bucket list ideas or unique family activity idea videos are not that common. And I feel like these are unique ideas. So if you think they're unique as well, make sure that you share this with somebody in your life. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.